Hello Gryffindor, and welcome to your weekly general reading. There are no dates on my readings, so I trust that when you find the message, if it feels like it's yours, then it's yours. If it doesn't, then it's not. Anyways, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Still trying to get it to where these videos on this camera focus. So hopefully your video comes out okay. I didn't have much luck with Ravenclaw. Good message, but part of it was out of focus. I just Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually in a lovely mood. Things are going crazy, actually. We just got some pretty major news this morning. There's going to be some big changes in our lives, and it's both terrifying and exciting all at the same time. So, yeah, it's Libra season. I'm a Libra. And I've just been getting a lot of stuff done. And if you follow me on any of the social media platforms, I mean, hell, my link tree is crazy. It's got like a million different branches, and I've just been busting my butt on a lot of it. So, like I said, I personally don't have any complaints. I've been through far worse, and okay, I don't know who that is, but somebody wants to come out and talk. Hang on one second. Alright. Person. Alright, Gryffindor. What else we got? Yeah, and my carpal tunnel's kind of acting up a little bit. So I'm glad this is my last reading. Is that really all the cards? Let's see. Shrieking Shack. Potion Box. Dobby. Golden Egg. Swedish Short Snout. The Burrow. George Weasley. The Night Bus. Lily Potter. And this guy, oh god, what's he called? I want to call him like a wombat, but that's not. I know what he is. Oh, I just can't remember what he's called. And I'm so afraid of just shutting off the recording just to go and look him up. But I know what he is. So he's a sea creature. And the spines, they can sting you. And they can be, really? Am I really forgetting? Like he just came out a few weeks ago. I think I will have to pause the video to go and look it up. Now let's get a clarifier card first, okay? I know the name, it's like right on the tip of my tongue. It came out like twice a couple weeks ago for somebody. Ooh, the Hierophant. Oh, that's funny. I thought he was actually the Magician in this deck. Okay, well, let me show you the cards, and then when I pause it to take a look at these, that's when I'll look up its name. Alright, so we have Dumbledore as the Hierophant. It's kind of funny, because I really didn't think he was. I thought he was the Magician in this deck. Okay, so we have Merperson. And the Shrieking Shack. Really nice up-close view of it. Potion Box and Dobby. I really do enjoy doing these. These are so much fun. Well, I don't know if I would say fun, but, well, yeah, no, I have fun doing these. The Golden Egg. And the Swedish, I can't say it, Swedish Short Snout. God, it's say that like 5 times fast. The Burrow and George Weasley. The Night Bus and Lily Potter. And then this guy, who I will look up and get his name. All right, so give me a moment. I'm gonna take a couple minutes to look these over, and then, like I said, to also figure out what he is, because I know, but I don't know. All right. Okay, Gryffindor. I have a few thoughts, and they're not quite coming together yet. I'm not really sure where this is going. First, let me start by saying this is a Murtlap, and it's the sea creature thingy, and it eats like crustaceans, but it will bite your feet if you step on it. And those spiny tentacle thingies, they can be used to help repel jinxes, and it's also part of the ingredient of the stuff that Hermione had Harry put his hand in after Umbridge had him do the writing, and it wrote on his hand. So that's what that guy is. So with the overall energy being the Hierophant, and normally I really don't like the Hierophant card, but it's Dumbledore, and I'm like, oh, but he was a complex character. Some of the things he did were very questionable, especially in regards to Harry. But I think that complexity is also reflected over here with Lily, right? She undyingly just loved and protected Harry even after she was gone. Everybody kind of loved her. Everybody thought she was great. And where I see the complexity is, Harry doesn't remember her. He didn't have a relationship with her, but through certain means he's able to kind of revisit her. And so he does develop that relationship. I'm really not even sure where the hell I'm going with this, because I'm looking over here at the mer person, and I just see this proudness, right? This stoic stance. And I'm thinking, okay, well, what is that in regards to? Because then next I'm seeing these two very lone houses. Both of them are homes, but for very different purposes and for very different families. Stay with me for one moment. So with the Burrow, right, that's the Weasleys. That's this big loving home filled with laughter, filled with children. And this was designed for just one, the werewolf, for Lupin. But his friends loved him so much they became animagi, so they could hang out with him and be with him there. So I see two very family homes, but both of them, in both scenes, they're very desolate. We're not seeing the Shrieking Shack in springtime or when it's bright and colorful. We're seeing it during the winter, that very cold feeling. And I just think of how miserable Lupin must have been as a child to have to spend, those days every month alone until his friends finally figured it out, and then they started staying with him there. And I just think that's just such a miserable feeling. And then here with the Burrow, it's nighttime, and it's way in this picture. It's way out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm just thinking of like the time when they destroyed the Burrow, and they pretty much lost everything at that moment. So I'm seeing like this home isn't welcoming anymore. Which then leads me to think, like, is the Hierophant like your dad and maybe your mom's not around anymore? And maybe, if not your dad, just some father figure, and you're being very judged, and you want to be proud and quote unquote stand your ground, but nobody can understand you. I feel like I'm onto something there. And like, I feel like you can't go home, and you've collected all of these ingredients, and you've put them all together with this potion box. I'm not just seeing like the necessary ingredients to make the potions, but I'm seeing like each one of these representing a different experience, maybe a different trauma. Like all of your emotional baggage is what I'm seeing this one as. And then I'm wondering, okay, so where does Dobby fit into this? Maybe there's like this good intention, but things go wrong. Maybe your parents tried their best and had the best intentions, but maybe they were just really shitty parents. Maybe they didn't know how to be a parent. Maybe they didn't know how to help you through whatever you were going through. We are all human, and I'm not excusing, abuses, but sometimes we inflict trauma on others unintentionally. Oh, that really felt like that was true, because that's exactly how I see Dobby. He didn't mean to kill anybody, just to maim them. Yeah, I'm feeling like there was some unintentional trauma at home that was inflicted upon you. And now the egg opens. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. I'm feeling like somewhere here, I'm getting this feeling like if you, I don't want to say accept your trauma, but maybe if you speak on it, maybe if you accept the truth of it, that it was something that you went through, something that you survived, if you face that truth, I feel like this is going to finally open. The opening of the egg in this reading just looks to me like it's like, okay, and the truth will set you free. That whole thing right there. And I feel like the truth of it is this trauma, whether it was from your dad, or if it was from your parents, or it was from the church, if it was some authority figure. And I want to say something to do with the home. So I'm thinking like childhood. I feel like maybe there's some childhood trauma that needs to be addressed. And the fact that this guy shows up where he's able to heal and ward off jinxes, I feel like carrying around that baggage with you has been hindering you, has been keeping you back from where you need to go. And I feel like this guy right here, he's like, hey, I'm here to help. That he's like a healing salve. I don't know. I don't think I've ever said that word out loud. He's an ointment, okay? He's an ointment to kind of help heal those wounds. You're going to have the scars, right? The scars still remain after Harry's hand was treated, but it healed, okay? So then all that's left here is the Swedish short snout, George Weasley, and the night bus. And with George, it's just really sad, right? Like he has to go on. He lost a part of him. And in essence, I feel like that is your childhood, with this dragon whose name I can't seem to say. She was distracted, deceived, with a dog, okay? And that's how she ended up losing the eggs. That's how she ended up losing the egg. I'm not sure who was tricked. Maybe part of your trauma was being tricked, being lied to, being distracted with something. Or maybe this is saying that a distraction is what you need, or maybe that was your coping mechanism. Maybe you've developed the need for distractions to keep that feel so right. Maybe you've developed the need for distractions in your life to keep you from facing whatever the hell this trauma is from home, whatever that loss is that you suffered, whether it was your childhood, your innocence, your other half, okay, a sibling, a whoever, whatever the hell this was that you lost. I feel like you've developed these distractions, a habit of distractions to keep you from addressing it. And I feel like that's being really rammed home right now. I feel like that is the message being preached to you from the podium, that there is a lesson to be learned from everything that you've gone through. And right now it's saying you need to address your trauma. You're carrying everything around, each one of those little incidents, each one of those actual things that happened, whatever the hell it is, that, you know, maybe when you tried to speak up for yourself before you couldn't, well, now you can, but you need to face it. You need to address it. And you need to address it from, I want to say, from a place of compassion, but because I don't know who this is directed towards, some things, some people do not deserve the compassion, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong for that, but I just feel that there are certain things that are done to people where maybe compassion and understanding isn't exactly the right thing to do. I know plenty of people will preach otherwise. Some things I think are just better if you just cut people out of your life rather than trying to make amends or try to understand their motivations. But that's going down a whole nother tunnel. And again, this is a general reading. I don't know who this is for, and I don't know the trauma that you suffered, and so I certainly don't want to belittle it by suggesting that you go easy on somebody. But I do feel like if you have something that needed to be said that you haven't said, I feel like you need to open up and you need to finally say it. And then finally with the night bus, I mean, it always shows up when you're in need of it, and it might not be the best way of taking you to your destination, but it is there. And so what does that have to do with all of this? I just feel like whatever path you're going to take to speak your truth, to, even if you're just speaking it to yourself, even if you're just journaling it down, even if you're just acknowledging it, which I think with the night bus, that really is about acknowledgement, because it's acknowledging that there is somebody who is in trouble right now and they are going to show up, that they feel it, they know it, they're there. And I feel like right now that's what you need to do. That there's something, I want to say, from your childhood. Again, I don't know if it's from your parents or who it's from, but I feel like there's just something that you really need to talk about and acknowledge. And just address it, you know? You just really admit that it happened, accept that it happened. And if there's healing that needs to happen, I think the healing is going to come after you actually say, hey, yeah, you know what? This was a problem. This affected me. This gave me all of this baggage that I am now carrying with me. And before I can move on, I need to say something. I need to stand up and I need to say something. And again, like I said, does it have to be to the person who hurt you? If you feel like that, does it have to be to authorities? If it's that's up to you. Again, I don't know what this is regarding, so if it should include the authorities, and if you're within that time frame to be able to do it, you know, go right ahead. If this is just really you acknowledging that you went through these things and they were hurtful, and if you can start addressing how you grew out of them or how you grew because of them, you know, that's just going to start you on a healing process. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Gryffindor, I love you. I really hope you guys are okay. And be good to yourselves, and I will see you next week. Bye.